Yeah, county officials say we haven't seen water levels on the Poudre River this high for the last 10 years. So what's causing all this flooding? And could we see more flooding this weekend? With all these warm temperatures, the runoff from the river has significantly increased, causing flooding along the river's banks. Several streets and roads have been blocked off due to high water in both Greeley and Windsor, which nobody expected really this time of year.
We didn't have that much snow in the mountains, so there hasn't been that much concern over flooding.
Nolan Duskin is the state climatologist and says the weather conditions have been almost a perfect storm this past few weeks to cause the high runoff so soon.
And when we went into this prolonged several days in a row of 80s, even 90s at low elevations, but up at the right on up to the crest of the Continental Divide, we're talking temperatures 50s and 60s, even some 70s, several days in a row. That was just the right ingredient for getting all the snow, regardless of the altitude, to be melting at the same time.
The snowpack level was not as high this year, so some folks may have not predicted such a rapid runoff. Duskin says these hot temperatures in such a short time frame sped up the melting process.
This time it was just a concentration of rapid melt in a small number of days. This is the normal time for the peak runoff to occur, but this was a concentrated runoff.
The initial forecast for this weekend called for heavy rains, which could add to an already difficult situation. But like typical Colorado weather, that can change at a moment's notice, and maybe for the better.
Right now it's looking like it may be a cold, gentle rain than an intense flash flood type producer. And also when the storm comes in, it cools the temperatures in the mountains, slows down the snow melt, so even though we may get rains in the lower elevations in the foothills, it may suppress the melt in the mountains.
Now, of course, these are absolutely perfect conditions for rafters and kayakers, as we saw earlier in that video, but search and rescue crews are again warning folks to take all precautions necessary, whether you're in the water or even around the water with these high water levels right now. Reporting in Fort Collins, Tom Livingston, Northern Colorado 5.